Well, hello. It is Tuesday night again. Say hello, where are you from, who's painting with you? Hello, Instagram. I am live on Instagram. Instagram doesn't last that long, so it might get disconnected. And I'm live on Facebook and on YouTube. And we're going to Cabo tonight. So that's where we're going. I still have to pour my paint, so I'll start that in a minute as soon as I see the comments come through. Make sure I'm live everywhere. I can see people come on. There we go. Hello, Christy. How is everyone doing? I'm going to share this into the group. Share to group. There we go. There we go. It's all done. There we go. I can see who's on. Ashton is here. Love this one. Have it hanging on my wall. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. We'll have lots of fun. Debbie's here painting with my dad and my sister Sandy virtually. Nice to have you all back again. That is so neat. And who else is here? Heather is here from Australia. Welcome, welcome. So neat to see everyone. If you're on Instagram, say hello. Susan is here from Texas. Welcome. It's a fun one. I absolutely love painting this one. And I'm going to do, I am just going to use primary colors. So red, yellow, blue, and orange with black and white. So that's it. What are we painting? We are painting Cabo, the sunset scene, this one over here. Thank you. I have another one coming up. I think it's the 13th, I'm not sure, but later in April, we're painting one with like a daytime scene with some umbrellas and beautiful tropical water. I'm excited for that one too. Hello, Ruth from Puerto Rico. Welcome, welcome. Wendy is here from Mile 101 Alaska Highway. Welcome. Natalie is here. She's right here in Canada with me. Where about in Canada are you? I'm in Surrey, BC. So I'm going to start pouring paint for those who are still a few minutes to go, but I'll run through the paint again. Does anyone collect these little things? They're just from the Liquitex and the Artist Loft. And after a while, I have these little things. Let's see, yellow, some white, some yellow. And you don't need too much. These are just little bits, not too much yellow. And I kind of put them in the order that I'm going to use them. So yellow, orange, and I'm going to have an extra lump of orange because we're going to use orange for the ocean. And then I'll do the red, which will be my pink and purple. And then the blue. And Virginia is here. She is from Sequin, Washington. Amir is here. Hello, hello from Washington. Patricia is here from Port Hardy. Renee is here from Salem, Oregon. Laura is here. Laura and Karen, and they're from Souk. Welcome. Nice to have you all. And a little bit of blue. And see, when I go higher up, I actually add a little bit of red with my blue to make it even darker. but we'll talk about that in a bit. And a little blue. I should use more of my palette, but that's okay. And a little black. Good morning, sis. Love you. And I miss you too. And Rhonda is here. Hello, Miss Frida, painting in Chilliwack. Welcome, welcome. This is my palette tonight. Doesn't it look neat? All right, so white, yellow, orange, red, blue, and a little bit of black. And then I've got an extra lump of orange because I use a lot of orange for this one. Yvette is here. She's from Abbotsford. Met you through. Oh, yes. Deanna from Vanilla Clothing. We had so much fun. All those events and the wine tours. Can I call them wine tours? The shopping tours. They were so much fun. Welcome, Yvette. So nice to have you. Could you please repeat the colors? Missed it earlier. Yes, I will repeat that. Will there be a replay? Yes, this one will stay on until, well, it's supposed to stay on 24 hours, but sometimes Facebook just won't let me delete. so last week stayed on a little bit longer, but 24 hours. And then if you are in the membership, you'll find it in the membership by tomorrow afternoon. Manvira is here from Winnipeg, and Millie is here from Bellevue. Welcome, welcome. So you'll need white and yellow. White and yellow. You'll need orange. You'll need a pink color. I'm going with red, and I'm going to mix a little white in there, and then it becomes purple when the red and the blue mixes. So a little purple, and then it goes into the blue, and then I add some red to my blue to make it really dark, like a dark purple. If you have all the colors, then put them out. If you want to be as adventurous as I am, I just have my red, yellow, and blue, and then I just brought in an orange. I'm going to mix up a purple, and I'm going to mix up all the colors a little bit, and then I've got my black and white. So those ones. Amber is here from Winnipeg, stopping in to say hello. Welcome, welcome. How much is the membership? The membership right now is $17 a month. And if you sign up for the whole year, so a yearly membership, it's $170, which is a really good deal. And when you get into the membership, you don't have access just to that month's paintings. You have access to everything. So it's like Netflix. So you sign up and you have access to everything. So you can binge watch or binge paint one weekend, and then you don't paint for a week or two, and it's all good. The paintings are there for you. So I think it's a really good deal, the membership. And also you paint at your own pace. So it's not like the live sessions where I just move on. You can pause the video, go dry it, go make a cup of coffee, come back, and then just paint again. And Wendy is here from Mission. And Charlene is here from Surrey. Janet is here from Florida. Hi, Amir. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Wendy Smith. We have 3 Wendy's painting today, I think. And yesterday, I took a drive out to Chilliwack Lake, and I was hanging out with my friend Wendy, and we painted next to the lake, which was fabulous. Just watercolor pencils, and we had a few brushes, so we played with that. Jaro is here from Cloverdale, my neighbor. I'm right here in Cloverdale too. And it's 6 p.m. Carolyn is here from Surrey. So neat. We have 60 people online right now. This is such a fun painting, and you can see that this background is a little bit more textured than the photo I had on the cover for this event. You can see there's a few more brush strokes. This is a printed sheet that I had that I just brought out. It's not a canvas. I just stuck it on top of another painting. Krista's here, stopping in from Winnipeg. Hope you all have a great time painting. Thank you so much for stopping by. Brushes, for those who want to know, I love my full bit brushes. I like playing with them. So full bit brush, I'm going to use this one for the background. If you have a bigger brush that you want to use, you can do that. But because I'm doing so many colors, I don't want to go too big. So that one's good. And then I have a medium size, and I like my full bits again. And then I have a small, my round brush. This one's flat. I was playing with it while I was drying. Gia from Aldergrove, welcome. May I ask what brand of paint you're using? So I have two brands tonight. I absolutely fell in love with Chroma acrylics. They are really well priced. They are very affordable. It's a Vancouver brand. So I'm actually driving out there to go and pick up some more colors. So Chroma Artist Acrylics, really neat. And I'm using Liquitex Basics. So that's what I'm using tonight. I love that. Hello. And that's Jeline is here. Pam is here from Florida. Welcome, welcome. All right. Are you guys ready to paint? 6:02. Shall we give them another 3 minutes? I'm like, oh, let's just go. And Akasha is in the house. Welcome, welcome. Jeline is from Oregon. Thank you. You're a doll. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, the Chroma acrylics is absolutely fabulous. You'll see now when I paint with the orange too, like all the colors are just great. They are all just lovely. Love working with them. I didn't check. I did see some. Let me just see if I have any. Oh, it's all good. Gotta check. I saw some activity on my Facebook page. Remember when the scammers used to post all those links on my feed? So I don't seem to have that a lot these days. So that's good. All right, I think we should start. What do you guys think? It is 67 people online. It is 6:03. I'm going to run through all the colors again, and I'm going to go through the brushes, and then we're going to start painting. So you're going to need the colors that you have for your background. So you don't have to go as bright or as, you can really play with the colors. So if you wanted more lighter, softer colors, then use more whites with your colors. If you wanted more brighter, grab the brighter colors, don't add white to it. But I'm going to show you how to blend all of this together. Sometimes I use white in between to do some blending, but you won't be using white if you don't want the lighter colors. All right. I'm using watercolors. Is that Abel or AB? I can't see, sorry. And hello, Ellie, it's Sherry. There we go. I have to paint at 9 p.m. There we go. All right, so we're going to start off yellows and whites, or I'm probably going to go with yellow into the oranges, into some red, but I use white to make it the pink color, and then goes into the blue. And here you'll see that it will make purple, and then into the blue, and then I add just some red to make the blue a little bit darker over here. So we're going to play loose brush strokes. You don't use too much paint. A lot of people think that you need a lot of paint to do the blending. You don't. You just have to make sure that both the paints are still wet when we blend, because if one is dry and the other one's wet, you're just painting the one on top of the other. They need to be a little bit wet for the two to blend. If you're doing the watercolors, I would wet the surface first and then work with the color on top, but not too wet, just like a damp kind of surface to work on. And then we're gonna need orange down here, some black, and we need some black here. So you need black and white, red, yellow, blue. If you have orange, bring that. If you have purple, then bring that. Brushes, you need a bigger brush for the background. You need a medium brush for when we paint in here for the rocks. And you'll need a liner brush maybe for the sketching. I actually use my bigger brushes when I do these reflections. So these are the brushes that I'm using. There you go. That's actually a round brush. It's just having a bad head, eh? It will look better. With water, yeah. So you can use your little brush and just wet the surface a little bit so that the paper absorbs it a little bit. And then when you start painting with the colors, it won't dry too quickly, or it won't, it kind of flow into each other. But you don't want the wet surface, so when you look it up, you have little puddles. You don't want it that way, just a little bit. Vicky is here. Hello, Patricia. What a wonderful day we have had here today. So tired to paint tonight. We'll paint tomorrow. Oh, you can just relax and watch the show, right? Okay. So let's start off. I have my brushes. I have a rag over here. I have a little tub with water. And we're going to start off with the big brush. And I'm just going to go and wet my brush. I'm going to start off with a little bit of yellow and white, and we're going to paint in the horizon line. So I'm going to go a little bit of yellow on my brush and push down like this, and a little bit of white. And it's quite low, so don't go too high. So right down at the bottom, so a little bit lower than a third. I like to go quite low with my line here so I can play with lots of colors in the sky. Yes, it was a lovely day today. And yesterday I was painting next to a river, so that was good, or next to a lake. Picking up more yellow and white paint. Lots of paint on my brush. I'm going to start right at the bottom. Don't forget to breathe. Just want to get rid of that banner. There we go. And we're going to start right at the bottom here. And I'm just going to apply some paints. I'm going to go with a little bit more white. So just with all the yellow on there, I'm going to add a little bit more white in here. Just a little bit higher with some white and yellow. It's going to have the different shades of yellow, which is just great like that. I'm going to wipe off. So I'm not washing the brush. I'm just wiping because I don't have too much paint on there. Just wiping off, picking up more white paint right over here, right next to the yellow. And then I'm going to pick up some orange. I'm going to go right above it with paint some orange. I'm just wiping my brush. And now I'm going to blend those two together. They're not touching yet. Now I'm going to work them together. And this orange is really strong, so I am going to use more white paint. And then I'm going to play in between the two. Softer. So when I bring the two together, it's a much softer brush stroke. You can see that it's literally just the tip bending over on my brush. There's not a lot. I don't put a lot of pressure here. So just softly go into the orange, back out into the yellow and white, and then up again into the orange, back into the yellow and white. Just blending it together softly. It's not a lot of paint. You can see there's not heaps of paint on the palette, on the canvas. I'm wiping off the paint, going back in, blending, picking up a little bit more white and yellow. I'm just going to play over here to make the blend a little softer. A little bit more white with my orange and blend over here. If you don't have orange, by adding a little bit of yellow with your, or a little bit of red with some yellow, you'll get an orange. Am I breathing? I'll bring it closer so you can see what's happening there. Just blending it all together. All right, so I want to go into more of a pink color here. So I'm going to pick up some white paint. K-Dog's in the house. Hello, welcome. Are you painting or just watching? So a little bit of white paint right above the orange here. Just putting it down. You're just playing. Don't forget to breathe. So my red is really strong. So I'm going to pick up some white paint and then little dabs of red. Very little. See, I know my paint. You might, if you don't know the paint you're using, maybe on your palette, when you pick up a little bit, kind of play in your white paint so you know what it does. Right, I'm just going to pick up a little bit and go right next to, kind of more on the edge and not where it's blending together. So a little further away. I'm putting this down. And then I'm going to work my way into the orange and the red to bring it together. I say red, but you know I mean pink, right? It's my red and white mix. I'm going to mix up a little bit more pink. So more red, more white. Go a little higher. If you like the way that it looked on the cover photo, you'd be doing long brush strokes. If you wanted a little bit more busy in the sky, like there's thin little clouds hanging, then you'd be going crisscross like this, kind of still going diagonal, but more little short brush strokes. Again, when I bring the two colors together, it's a softer brush stroke, much softer than when I'm applying the paint for the first time. Barely touching, just the tip of the brush. This goes from one color to the other. Just walked in the door, so I'm just watching. Oh, there you go. Diane is here from Drumheller, Alberta. Hope you had a nice Easter. Thank you. I did. I hope everyone had a nice Easter. How was your Easter, Diane? Just watching is relaxing. She's awesome. I love it. I love it when you tell me that you just watch to relax. It's good, right? I can watch people paint the whole day. I used to love watching people paint in the studio. All right, so I want to go into a little bit of a purple. I can't remember what this paint does when I add a little blue, so I'm going to do a little test on my palette. So taking a little bit of blue, this blue is really strong, and I'm going to mix it in here with the red and white, and there I can see my purple, which is not too bad at all. And for someone like me and K-Dog, we love purple, right, K-Dog? That's a neat purple. So I'm going to use that right next to the pink. And again, I do it right next to it, and then I move my brush into the two to bring it together, so you can see how it's right next to each other. But to blend it together, softer brush stroke, just the tip of your brush. You can see how it's more softer blend between the two. And it's not going to look exactly the same as mine. We don't have the same paint brushes. We don't have the same paints. Your pressure that you're using could be different. You maybe picked up a little bit more red than blue. So don't try and paint without expectations. Kind of, let's see what happens. Frida says this is going to happen. Who knows? And see, it's getting a little dry here, so it's not going to blend that easily. So if you find that in certain areas it's a little bit dry and the blending's not happening the way you want it to, there's two things you can do. Wash your brush, and then with a wet brush, because this hasn't been dry for a long time, you can go in, not very wet, just wet hair. I take off most of the big drops, and then you can play between the two to blend it a little bit more. The other thing to do is to mix the color you have at the bottom, so the pink and white, apply that again next to it, and then blend the two together. Because if both is wet, you'll be able to blend them together. But if one is dry and the other one's wet, it's going to sit on top unless you use a little bit of water to see if you can still lift it. Some paints, it's easy. If it hasn't been dry for a long time, just adding a little bit of water will help. Other paints, adding water is not going to do much. I'm going to go a little bit more blue now. Maybe I'll need a little bit of pink first. And I'm going to go a little bit more white and blue for the next one. I love watching people paint too. It's pretty easy until you actually do it. It's like a little adventure of discovery. I get so many messages that says, Frida, you make it look so easy. Just have to jump in and do it. And see, on this one, I went lighter here, and then it had like a dark shade in there. So if you don't have a smooth blend going, it's all good. You can see how I played with the colors there. A little bit of white and blue for the next little bit. You can maybe drag in the purple a little further if you want to. What I like to do, if I go really dark at this end, is even add a few stars on the side there. Love doing that. I don't have it on this one, but I've done it before where I've added a little bit of stars. As I move further away from these colors, I'm going to use more blue. So it goes a little bit darker. And not a lot of paint. You can see how I run out of paint as I go further away. So I don't have too much paint on my brush. It's little bits at a time. And don't forget to breathe. Love the purple. So neat, right? I just feel like I want to add, throw a few little white clouds in there. See, as I go further away, further from the colors, I'm using more, less white and more blue. So it can go darker and darker. Very dramatic sunset. Might even, I think over here I'll start adding a little bit of red just so that this corner is even darker. A wee bit. How dark that corner is. Here we go. I feel like I want to bring in a little bit of white here. How's everyone doing? Are you guys breathing? Don't forget to breathe. But remember, if you go back onto colors like I'm doing here, the blend between these two are not going to be as soft because the one's already dry. Then you might have to mix the other color again to bring the two together. I'm frozen. Is it better now, or is it still a mess? Let's see. All good now. Did I freeze with a funny face? Jeline says she's fine. Okay, good. Not frozen here. Patricia's good too. Thank you. How's everyone doing with those with the blending? Thank you, Winnie and Annika. If you feel like you want to spend a few bits of extra time on this, just remember right after I post the video, so you can take your time. If you fall behind, just ask questions. Either myself or someone in the community will answer if I miss it. But I normally am able to kind of guide you even if I'm way ahead. But just paint at your own pace. Right after when I post the video, you'll be able to go back to where you are and you can play and pause and do all of that. Kasha is ready to move on. Just type in ready and we'll do like 6 readies and then I'll move on to the next one. Sabrina is here and she's from Batista MD. All right. Did I miss something? Nope. So just say ready and then we'll move on. Kasha is ready and Renee is ready. Melissa is ready. And Sushmita is ready. Kato saying must be mine. Could be just internet. I had really bad internet yesterday. I wanted to work, I needed to do things, and nothing worked. Thank goodness I went out to a lake. Today was good, but it's some days that I think when there's a lot of people on the internet in the area, then it affects mine too. Right here, this is not painted yet. So this starts yellow, orange, and goes in, but this part's not painted yet. And I think we have enough ready. So the next thing we are going to do is paint this area, and you're going to make it all orange. So this is going to be our base coat. And when we do the reflections, we're going to play with our brush to add layers of black and orange mixed, and it's so much fun. But we need a base coat of orange. So just add the orange at the bottom. Isn't this paint amazing? I just absolutely love this. This orange, it's like one coat and it's covered. I gotta bring it closer. I just love that. Look at that. It's like, you can't even see brush strokes. Just love it. Don't grab rulers for straight horizons. Just wing it. You do want to cover your yellow line that you drew. I have no idea if this is going to be skew. Oh, I just went really high. That's it. Look at the lines, nothing fancy. Sometimes I like that there's a little bit of a highlight right above the line. I don't know why. Those things don't bug me. If you don't want that, then just go a little bit higher. You can also see a little bit of color from the bottom coming through here, and I'm all good with that because we are going to add more color to this when we start adding those reflections. But that is what we do over there. I created this painting for Transat. They had a big event in Vancouver. They rented the top of a restaurant. Or was it the basement? I can't even remember, but no, it was the top. We walked in through these tiny little staircase, really narrow with my big crates, went upstairs and set up, and the music was playing, and they had their own bar, and they had someone come in to do the food, and it was all these, I guess it was sales reps and executives, and they had presentations, and then we painted this painting. So much fun. I love doing these corporate events. I miss doing them. Right. Does Deanna get that painting too? If she was here, she'd be asking. I've traded many things. I've got one of her necklaces, Yvette, that I wear quite often. We traded that for a painting, and then other times it's like we got to trade something, even if it's just a glass of wine, or I just give it to her. But I'm sure if she's here, she'd say, "Can I have that one?" I loved it. Love, love, love it. That's too funny. Every time I put that on, I think about our negotiations with the painting sessions. Did you ever get to come paint at the studio with her, Yvette, when we had the little events? Hi, Anne. Are you painting tonight? Okay, if you guys are ready to move on, then let me know. Just type in ready, and then we're going to start painting in those beautiful silhouettes. You got it, and that's where we are tonight. We're on the beach. It's sunset. It's beautiful. We've got sand between our toes in Cabo San Lucas. Those are some of the most wonderful memories. Yes, Patricia. I was talking to a friend the other day. No, I'm crocheting. Okay. And we were talking about when you think back about your life and some things just seemed so insignificant, or so minor, but then we knew years later it's the little things. It's not the big stuff. It's the little things while the big stuff was happening that brings the joy and brings the smiles. And even here, you'd be painting, and years later you look at the painting and you remember that one time when you got a certain area to just look the way that you wanted, and you added the highlights, and you remember those. It's the little things. Like, so sometimes we're so busy we forget about those little moments. Guys, ready? I see lots of readies. So true, yeah. Morning, sweethearts from Campbell River, Vancouver Island. Welcome, welcome. Christy is ready and Carolyn is ready. All right, so we're going to paint the rocks. I'm going to do this so we can have a better idea of how big to paint them. So they normally as high here as they are at the bottom. This printed a little bit lower, but so as high as you have it here, that's about as high as you're going to go. Right, so keep that in mind. And then normally when I divide the canvas in half, the end, the right-hand side of this one, or left-hand for you, is the middle. And then half, if you take this part and break it in half, that's where this one ends here. So we're going to kind of just mark out where we're going to have these little bits. So I use my small round brush. I wet my brush, always a little bit of black paint. We're going in with black. Don't forget to breathe. Black makes certain people nervous, but we got this. So right down the middle, I don't know where the middle is. I got it round about here, I think. That's where you make your first mark. Just right there. Just a little black mark above the line. And then you find the middle here. So that round about here. So that's for this rock here. The other one I normally just make fit in between there, like that. So the first line right in the middle, then find the middle of the one side right there. And then this rock fits in here. On that side, just a little distance away, is where the other one is, like that, where we're going to start. I'm just going to watch, just got home from work. There we go. Now that you have your little marks, so this one and this one is round about the same height. So it's about as high as you went down. So I'm going to do a little mark up here, like that. And then we're going to draw it in. And I hold my brush a little further back. I have these shakes, so they just help with making the rocks a little curvy. That's the great thing of having these trimmers. So I go up a little bit, just like that. It's got this little piece that goes like this, just so you go kind of down. That's a little harsh, but like that. And then it goes down like this, and then it has a few crinkles there, something like that. That's the first one. Actually, it has a little bit that goes out like that here. And then we're going to do this one, and then you can do that one. So it doesn't have to be precise. I don't think that these ones match the real deal, but if you have a device with you where you can type in Cabo San Lucas sunset silhouette, these will most probably come on these rocks. I'm sorry, I've never been there, so I can't remember what they're called, but you'll be able to see the lines if you want to do it more precise. But I like to just kind of express, have fun with it. This one is about halfway up, so if you're wondering how to go, and that one is just a little bit higher, but not as high as this one. So you're constantly referring to where other things are to see where you're going to paint over here. So constantly compare. So later on when we paint this one, it's round about the same height as that one. And then you kind of go up. So just breathe, draw it out. There's no right or wrong. It's at the angle that you were standing watching it. If anyone asks. That was at my angle. I got any excuse for you when things don't look the way they should be. Creative expression. I draw them out and then I can paint them black. And normally when I start painting them, I might change it up a little bit, so it's all good. We're having fun over here on the beach. This one goes up and then goes down, goes up again. Say that sits over here. This goes all the way down like that. I think that will work for me. And then don't forget to paint in this little eye. When you do this little bit, go much bigger than you think you should go. So go really big. If you kind of draw it in for the size that you want it, because where the black is, when you fill it in around it, it's going to be much, much smaller. So you'll see that looks really big, but because as soon as I paint around it, you'll see that it appears smaller. It's a really bad brush today. Oh, a place in Oregon coast that reminds you a bit of this painting. I've heard that before, where someone said it reminds them of that, but I think it has the hole in the wall. That's what I call it. And one rock on the side, if I remember correctly. But I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen something similar. Look very much like an area in Nova Scotia, sandstone. Sand compacted like rocks over many years. Oh, that's so cool. I'm going to go look that up. Right, so to paint it all black, I'm moving to my medium-sized brush, and I'm just going to use this one to make it all black. It's just black. We are going to use a little bit of purple later to add some color to it, but for now, it's just black. Nothing fancy, just black paint. And you can play now, you can kind of add a little bit more texture to your rocks, and it doesn't have to be so straight lines. So sometimes when I draw, I can see all the straight lines here. And then I just add a little bit more texture. Oh, I can't wait to show you the reflections. They are so fun to paint. So much fun. Do you find it scary to paint the black over these beautiful colors? Well, not scary, but kind of, oh, there goes all those beautiful colors. If you have, I can see here, oh, you can't even see it, but there's a little bit of the yellow that keeps showing up. It's the black doesn't cover the whole canvas. Leave those. I would actually kind of do them a little texture, so it adds texture. It's just the light reflecting onto the rock. So even if it's not completely covered, don't go paint over that. Don't forget your eye or the hole in the wall. But if you have those little bits of color that comes through, it's all good. Leave them for now. At first, when you see them, they just look like an area you didn't paint. But if you leave it, it becomes part of the painting. It becomes like a reflection that you see. So quite often the things we want to see, we don't have to paint it, we just paint around it. Or you kind of just let it be and it just shows up. How are you guys doing? Cannon Beach. It's Cabo San Lucas. I don't know if it's called Cabin, if the beach is called Cannon Beach. Maybe that's the spot in Oregon. Oh, Cannon Beach, Oregon. No, it's not that one. We're in Cabo San Lucas tonight. Are you with us? I want to see. Oh, I see. So for those who don't know, that is Cannon Beach. You should paint that next to those clouds. Here's another one. Beautiful place. I can see how it reminds you of Cannon Beach. I'm taking screenshots. So beautiful. I love your hair. I love yours. Mine looks weird. Oh, sometimes it looks weird while you're in it. Maybe if you leave it, like step away and come back, you'll look at it differently. Oh, there you go. Yes. Christy is ready to move on. Just type in ready when you've done with the black. And then we're going to start with these fabulous, so much fun to paint these reflections. So much fun. You will need yellow, orange, black. You're going to need all the colors that you have in your sky. But mostly orange, yellow, and black. But we're going to throw in the other colors too. That's when I do too, Frida, screenshots. I do so many screenshots every day, but I'm getting better at saving them in one spot so I know where to find them. All right, we're gonna start using, you can either use your bigger brush to do these reflections. The idea is we're going to go really flat and we're going to do these little sweeps like that with our brush strokes. So you're going to go into your canvas and then away. So touch and go, touch and go. That's how you're going to apply the paint. But I'm going to do it with my medium. I might grab this one in a little bit, but I'm going to start off with this one so I don't go too big. Oh, I need that picture of Canon. It's so pretty. I will post those in the Facebook group. So if you're not in the group, go join the group. I'll post them in there so you can go and find it there. And you can use these steps to paint that silhouette. That would work. All right, so we're going to use this one. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix up a really ugly color. So we're going to grab some black paint and some orange paint. And you're going to get this really yucky color, but that's the one that we're going to start off with. So it makes this awful color. I don't even know what to call it, but it's like a brownish, yucky color. So brown, sorry, just black and orange mixed up. And you're going to start off where these rocks are a reflection. So I'm going to go this way with my reflections because the sun is on that side. So this time when I do my reflections, I'm going to go a little bit this side, but I'm going to show you where we do it. So that yucky color is going to be over here in front of that one. So you can go a little bit wider like that. And then this one is more, I would probably fill in that area too. So right under it, but you want to leave this whole area open and that area, because that's where the sun's going to come through. All right, so you're going to go pick up your paint. I keep my brush, the bristles all together like that, so it's flat. Then you're going to go like this, right underneath. And the reason I do these little brush strokes is because the water is moving like this, so you'll have those the highlights and the shadows in between. And you can see already I've just started, and there's going to be like highlights and shadows, all the different colors. I don't want to paint it all this color. I still want a little bit of orange to come through. This is just the print, but you can still see a little bit of the lighter color come through here and there. So you're just playing with that. And every now and then I also pick up a little bit of a lighter orange too. So I'm picking up this color, I'm playing like this, right on top of it. Remember this area here, we don't want this color, and this area here, and maybe this corner. Might need a little bit of water. And I take it all the way to the bottom. There's not a lot of paint, you'll see. Not too much paint. Just keep blending. So yellow, orange and black, awful color. But it looks so good when everything comes together. I'm picking up a little bit more orange to go on top. Now I'm playing with orange on the one side and that color on the black on the other side. Keep blending. Some areas are going to be lighter, some areas are going to be darker. I do the same in front of this one. Just moving my brush left to right like that. In this area over here, I'm going with orange on the one side, that color on the other side, and softly going to play in between those two. Just keep moving the brush. You're playing with, it's not too much paint. Sometimes people want too much paint on there, and you just need to move around the paint that's already there. And I'm going to do this side, orange on the one side, that really ugly color on the other side. Both colors on my brush. Doesn't matter which one's on top, which one's on the bottom. No, doesn't. Don't go too far. I might have gone a little too far, but that's okay. I'm going to play with some orange on top of it. Right up to it. We are going to add some black on top of this, but how's that? You're welcome. There we go. How's that? coming together, right? Can you see it happening? It's happening. Sometimes you need to step back. Don't look at the brush strokes too close, because if I look at it right here, I'm not, like, it doesn't look good. It's like the ugly duckling the ugly duckling stage. A little orange. I'm going to add a little bit more orange here. I went in too fast, too far, but that's okay. Now you can pick up a little bit of the pink color, just here and there. I go with a little bit of pink, maybe a little over here, some down there. That's a little dark. And you can pick up a little bit of the purple. See how little I put down? Just here and there. There's going to be black on top, so only some of it is going to show up. It's the a little bit of that pink color. And I still have that orange on my brush. And you can see how little is on there. Where is the camera? And I'm just playing here and there with that. Like that. And then I'm going to go darker. I keep working it. Don't hesitate to ask if you have any questions. And I'm going to go a little bit darker. And then eventually I'm going to go with a little bit of black, especially right against it with the black. See how it's coming along? Don't forget the edge. See how I'm not working that area? We want to work that area too. Keep picking up paint, keep working it, a little bit at a time. I'm going to go a little bit darker in here and then eventually pick up black. Especially in the center, kind of here. Just moving my brush, going in and out. Thank you, Judy. I think I need to bring this out a little bit more. You might have done it too dark. Quite often I've gone too dark. I would then dry the canvas, do the orange on top again. Sometimes I'll have to add a little white with it, dry it, and then just go again just to bring out all the colors. Many years ago, we were in Bandon, Oregon. It was so lovely. They were having an arts festival. It was wonderful. And your pictures does remind me of that area. Oh, wow. That's so neat. Yeah, I got to do this one now with that. With those rock formations or sand. Righty. How's everyone doing with the blending and the adding colors and the... And then where the sun comes in like this, You're going to do the same, but with yellow. So I go yellow on the one side. So I'll do the yellow first, like that. And then I go yellow on the one side, orange on the other side, and then I blend in between. And I've got yellow coming through that hole there, in between over here, a little bit at the side here. You can even add it in. Like you can play everywhere with the yellow too. But you can see those little areas with those highlights. I'm going to do the yellow and then we're going to go back to more black. If you find that your yellow is translucent and you can't see it in those areas, then add a little bit of white to the yellow. And then do your yellow on top of the white and yellow. So do it with white and yellow and then do it again. We're going to add, I added more black here and there, but we're going to add more black right on the horizon. I'm going to come back and do that in a minute. I sort of play with a little bit of yellow and then I'm going to come back with more black. I'm going to do some yellow in this area. Some yellow here. And then more black. It's almost as if your rocks that you painted kind of blends in into the water. So lots of black here and then it kind of becomes less. So softer line here, not that straight line that we initially painted, with a little bit more black. So I want the line to kind of disappear. I'm going to play right there. Play a little bit here. And then also a little bit of purple. Forgot the purple. Need a little bit of purple here and there. So I have a little purple on the side here and there's a little purple in there. See right here. Congratulations, Frida, for another winner. Thank you, thank you. Wow, just wow, you make this look so easy. I'm not happy with mine. I just don't know. Oh. Try and I find that the hardest thing is when you paint with someone else and you're watching them. To get where they are can be so hard. But if you're just painting, and I know it's easier said than done, but I'm adding a little purple. Just, oh, can you see it? There you go. Add a little purple in. I also add purple onto my rocks, kind of just to add a little texture to it. Like that. It's not always that visible in a darker room, but when the light falls on it, you see the purple in the painting. And I'll try and get, there you go. A favorite place of mine. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm just adding more purples. Maybe I'll do it up close. I don't know if you can see the purple. You can even do it with pinks too, but because it's so black, it doesn't show up a lot, but and I'll add some purple into the water. And you can make this as colorful as you want it to be. You can add so much color to it. I'd probably sit and play with this one for hours. If you are in the membership and you go, I think it's now under the sports paintings. If you go do the Hello Brand Fitness and you go do the sailboats, it's the same technique with the reflections of the boat. So if you really enjoy this or want to see another version of the instructions, then go look at that one. It's really amazing to see how working on it, stepping away, work on it again. You might come back tomorrow and add more colors to it, but have fun with it. You can make it as dark or as bright as you want it to be. You can add more texture. You can do birds in the sky. You can add colorful clouds like that one photo that we saw. Don't hold back. It's all good. Have you ever thought of having your husband painting with you or work the camera? Yes, many times. I told him he needs to come and do like close-ups and all of that, but he's working on his boat. Painting is hard, I find. Thank you for helping, Frida. You're welcome. I know blending can be hard. Comes with practice. Just keep playing. And I find that if you're changing brands of paint, which I've done too many times, it's easy to blend with the one, you get used to it, and then you change paint, and then you got to learn again. So it's paint, and then a different brush can influence it. But the more you paint, the easier it becomes. As always, thank you for your creativity. You're welcome, Teresa. Yvette, you're always amazing. Thank you for sharing. Oh, you're welcome. I love doing this. I'm so happy I pressed that live button the first time I did this. Thank you so much. Love it. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to post a selfie. Please come and share your photos. Let me know about your experience. Take photos of your palettes if you want to share it, or the cat that walked over your painting, or whatever you want to do. But I'm going to share it now. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are in the membership, this will be up tomorrow in the membership. If you want to share this with your friends, the video will be on Facebook until 6 tomorrow. And then I will see you next week again. Thank you so much. All right. Take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you next week.